You have to laugh about the climate alarmists, don't you? They are never happy. It's either too hot one day or too cold the next. There's too much rain, there's not enough rain. Everywhere they look, there is a crisis. They want us to listen to the science, and then they complain when the scientists reject their alarmism and say we shouldn't listen to them. And they constantly push for this to be one of the #1 political issues in the world and in this country. And then when people actually vote on climate issues, the climate alarmists still whinge because they don't like the result. They are the democracy deniers, and they've been at it again overnight. I'll show you that example in just a moment, but first a bit of a reminder as to how we've got here. Here's Bill Shorten from April this year when the federal election campaign began.
The election's been called, and today the case to vote Labor is that we will deliver more jobs, better health and education, take real action on climate change and renewable energy, and help push energy prices down.
Yes, it was the climate election. Climate and energy policies were front and centre and hotly contested. On this show, we highlighted the crucial climate policy questions every day, and we all know the results. Australians chose to stick with sensible climate action, rejecting Labor's extreme policies. And yesterday, when Labor's Mark Butler tried to get Parliament to declare a ridiculous climate emergency, he got nowhere, and most of his own side wasn't even interested enough to turn up.
Since October last year, in just the past 12 months, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, the IPCC, the world's leading climate scientists, have issued 3 reports, each more urgent.
This is democracy in action. This is Australians having their say. But over at the public broadcasters, they are unhappy. The democracy deniers at the ABC last night were whining about why Australia hasn't declared a climate emergency, and apparently they think the will of the people is being ignored.
I think Australians at the moment are discovering how little democratic power we've actually got. It's shrinking before our very eyes. The vested interests are in there, ensuring that we don't get what we want. The only choice that we have is to take back our democratic power, both as voters, but particularly as consumers. Let us start consuming the clean green energy, the clean green clothing, the clean green housing. You know, we have to vote with our feet and with our wallets. We have to send the economic signal to industry, and then industry tells government to get in line, because they're not listening to our votes in the ballot box.
That was science writer Julian Cribb, who got only nods of approval from the panel, all of whom, we must assume, had missed the federal election debate, the climate election, as so many people called it, and the clear result. No one ignored the ballot box. The ballot box gave us the result we've got today. Extreme climate policies were a large part of why Labor lost. Even Labor's own front benchers, some of them, have started to recognise that and are already moving to wind back their emissions reductions targets. But not at the ABC. The climate deniers, the democracy deniers, say democracy isn't working. Whenever they get a result they don't like, democracy isn't working. It seems democracy is working just fine to me. It's their fact-challenged, emotive, anti-democratic climate alarmism that's looking a little broken.